All
Hey,
right.
everybody. Hey, Fab the Vegan is here. This is Mike Young with aPlantBasedDiet.org, and we are back to interview like some of the most incredible people in the plant-based movement. And we've got one here today. We got one.
Thank
Fab,
you.
Yeah, Fab the Vegan.
Woo! Fab the vegan.
Yeah, you got your shirt on right there. So people know you when you're walking down the street, right?
Yeah, I guess so, right? I'm getting more of that lately, which is pretty cool.
That's right.
Pretty cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
and let me let everybody, all the watchers, all the viewers know that I'm up in the DC area right now. And through the magic of the internet, I'm guessing you're down in the Tampa area. Is that right?
Oh, yes. I'm in Clearwater, Florida.
Okay, so that's like your home base, basically.
That's my home base.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And I know that just to bring folks up to speed before we kind of get into our discussion, you have been like almost a continual presence at the events, the Veg Fest that we do in Florida, and most of our Veg Fests are in Florida. So,
and thank you. I love every minute of it. It's fun, and you get to meet so many great people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Right. Yes. Yeah,
so you made that possible.
Yeah. Well, sure. I mean, we're just glad we're out here to spread the word, and obviously, I feel like you want to do the same thing. So that's why we connect, and
exactly,
and then get results too. Because I know, like, you were up at the one of the northern ones we did in Savannah, Georgia. Back in March. It's May of 2022 right now, and that one was 3 years in the making. We finally got it done.
Wow.
And then I know you had an impact on people just talking out there in the middle of Forsyth Park.
Yes, that was great. That was great. That was really amazing event. It was great. Yes.
Yeah, it was a location. It was so cool. We try to have these events, outdoors in public places.
Yes.
Where just people are just walking by. We don't have like entrance and exit areas where people have to pay money to get in. So we just kind of want everybody to kind of come on in and listen and maybe learn a little bit.
Exactly, participate and just listen, like you said, listen and learn. Because I ran into in one of the Veg Fests, I forget which one it was. A lady just walked into the park, like you said, and she was actually going there for a Greek festival. She said, I was ready to get down with some meat and everything, and then she saw it was a plant-based, a vegan, a Veg Fest, and she didn't know anything about it. And she stood there, she listened, and she actually came up, she actually came in the park when I was talking. Right. And she came up to me right after, and she said, I had no idea this about plant-based food. I had no idea. She goes, as a matter of fact, this week, I have like 5, every day I have an appointment without this. He goes, I'm always sick. He goes, she goes, so thanks to you, I learned about this vegan plant-based stuff, whole food plant-based, and I think I'm gonna try it. It could just save my life, she said. I was like, biggest reward there was.
Yeah, and you know, like when you affect even one person like that, right? I mean, it's way more than that. It has a ripple effect, because if anybody that knows this person, this woman, is going to see a positive change in her life and start asking, like, what's going on?
Exactly. Yes, it's a testimony. It's a testimony of everyone. Now she takes that information, she brings it back to a household, and then she starts changing, and so on and so on and so on. That's what happened with my family. When I went plant-based, right, vegan at that time.
How long ago was that?
2013, I started my journey. So by mid-2014, I was fully vegan. The last thing I ate was I had eggs, and that was it. And that was, I think, March or April 2014. And I reversed my diabetes since then. I lost tons of weight. My arthritis, everything went away, because of the weight. But my daughter she was vegetarian, but she went totally vegan. My youngest son went vegan. Her husband, my son-in-law, is vegan. She's having another baby, and she's going to be vegan too. So and then my younger son has 2 kids, and they're also plant-based vegan. So it's like one little thing, one little ripple. Yeah. And it happened in 2013. We're talking 9 years ago. So you never know.
And these things take time too, right? It didn't happen all at once that you had this ripple.
Exactly.
It takes some time.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. And that's how, as humans, we got to give it time. We just got to continue to work. You're
doing the work. Yeah, you definitely are. Yeah, you're out there. People know you're out there. Like, you got your shirt on. And I know you post all on social media all the time too. I see that. So that's the way to do it. It's got to become a lifestyle, part of the regular lifestyle, right?
Exactly. And that's what I tell people. Listen, just take one day at a time, one meal at a time. We didn't become how we became, meat eaters was because it was introduced a little at a time from birth, you
Right.
know,
That's right.
according to what we're supposed to be fed. So it was introduced a little at a time. So the same way now we're going back to our health, our root. Now we got to introduce everything a little at a time. Now I know a lot of people that done it overnight.
Mm,
Praise them. I wasn't one of those guys.
that's right.
I
Yeah.
was too old and too used to my standard American diet.
Yeah, no, well, you and I are somewhat similar. I think you've definitely got a few years on me, but I was similar. I was raised in a standard American diet. It
Yeah.
was a very, very slow process over a very long period of time. 2009 is when I became vegetarian, and 2014 for me was when I finally got rid of the dairy, basically, which is
Yeah.
the hang up. That's when we started the nonprofit. But let me ask you too.
Wow.
Our
That's awesome.
nonprofit slogan is for people, animals, and our planet. Are you mainly focused on the people, the health? Is that your main focus? Because everyone has
That's
their thing, right?
yeah, that's my main focus, people's health. And to I want to let them understand that there's life after 50. Today's my birthday. I'm 59 today,
Oh, all right.
you
Happy
know?
birthday. Yes.
Yeah. And I feel great. So my message is there's life after 50.
Yeah.
By the time we get in our 50s, most of us have been divorced, second marriage. We put in a lot of years in our jobs, and we think life is over. Okay, I'm going to retire, go to the golf course, and wait till the angel of death come gets me.
Mm,
And that's, yeah, we're used to that. But I want to let them know, no, there's much more. There's much more that in your health and what you put in your mouth, it controls that future. I have energy today to do lots of things I couldn't do, 10 years ago. And
yeah.
at 59, going on 60, to me, I'm already 60 because 59 is, yeah, so I'm
It
already
rounds
60.
up. It rounds up.
Yeah. So this life after 50, yeah, I want to let them know. And I want to be that example. I know
Yeah.
that a lot of people
Well,
my age don't want to be constant, 3, 4 times in the gym for 2 or 3 hours. We're over that.
mhm,
We prefer walking, cycling,
yeah.
we maybe a little jogging here and there, but that's what we prefer.
Mm.
We want to enjoy our families, our grandkids, our partners. That's what we want to do. So for all
Enjoyment.
that,
Yeah, that's the word. Like right, enjoyment. Like I think what you said with the exercise also relates to that, because if you're going to get hurt doing some exercise, you're not
yeah,
going to enjoy life either. You got to do some exercise that's keeps your body moving, but not
yeah.
not hurt you, right?
Not hurt yourself. Yeah, exactly. What I think, like me now, what I do is I do maintenance. I cut the grass. Make
Yeah,
sure that everything stays the way it's supposed to be.
yeah,
But that's what it's key. So like people, younger fellas, maybe in the 20s and 30s, they're probably looking for more bigger muscles and things. 40s, you start coming down a little. You by 40, especially in my culture, you either 50 pounds overweight or more, you're
mhm,
diabetic, you got all these problems.
yeah,
And, by 50, you're at the point in your life where you say, okay, what am I going to do? What is life? Your
yeah,
kids are growing up, they're probably in college or way, or you're already a grandfather like myself.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
So,
yep.
so you're back on your own and everything. So everything, all the noise that was taking away the attention of your life, of what your true life. Now you're quiet. You're like, oh my God,
Well, you get
what
to
am I
think
going to
about things like some
do? Yeah.
people say that 50 is the age of wisdom, right? You become wise.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
you definitely become wise. I mean,
Yeah.
and some of the things I've noticed too, because I'm just barely crossed over the 50 line. Both my wife and I, is that we're starting to see our friends either all be sick for the most
Yeah.
part. There's
Yeah.
exceptions, right?
Yes.
Or they're starting to die. And I'm like,
Yeah.
we're at the period of our life now where we're gonna start to see all of them pass away.
Yes. Yes.
And that's not a good feeling. I mean, that kind of,
No.
in a way, that does motivate me though more to get the word out, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. I see that, in my social media, a lot of my friends, they're in and out the hospital, their medication, their, heart problems, everything. And
Yeah,
I'm like, wow. And it was nice because one of my friends that I know for a long time, since we were teens from New York. So I know him over 50 years. He goes, Fab, he wrote in my social media for my birthday, he goes, thank you for letting us know that we can age backwards. And you are a great example.
oh yeah, there you go.
That little phrase right there
Yeah,
made my whole day.
yeah, that's
Made my whole day. And I tell him, it's the plants. It's also removing toxic people. being in places where you are appreciated, where you like to be, you know, you have, those are very important. Everything's a combination of keeping your
Yes.
spirit clean, your body clean, you know,
Yes.
everything. So it's a combination of all. I have learned that now as well.
And I think that you also obviously have gotten to this point because you have an open mind. You're willing to consider new ideas, right?
Yes. Yes.
So the mind keeps growing too, right? But
Yes.
there are some people that do want to squash that, right? I think
Yeah.
that, and those are the people that kind of you kind of got to distance a little bit from.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Unfortunately, yeah,
Yeah.
because
You have to be open to, you know, Michelangelo was a Michelangelo. He goes, at 87 years old, he said, I'm still learning.
mhm, mhm.
We're still learning. You know, like when I started, it was about losing weight. Then it was about, then as I started, I kept working my journey, 25 to 26 was about getting muscle. You know, so I went through a phase where to get muscle, this and that. I was at the gym all the time, you know, pumping iron. And then I started realizing that, okay, you know, in order to have all these muscles, I gotta keep working out the way I am. So that kind of said, you know what, no, I'm gonna go back to cardio. Then I started cycling. So I just started like evolving in little things, you know.
Yeah.
And today, you know, I like my weight. I'm down to 165. You know, my highest weight again was like 310. You know, and I did it gradually. Yeah, you know, I feel glad just to be walking again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, so it's it keeps evolving, you know, like again, when I started, it was for health. Then I realized how the animals are treated, you know. I said, wow, they gotta learn about that. So I think everything, we gotta be open-minded to everything, you know, and you keep learning. Like right now, you know, a year ago, I love, and this is something else, you know, like I say no animal products.
Right.
And now my new thing is no animal product, 50% plant-based, if you to go on to a healthier journey, and 50% plants. You know, because plants are not plant-based. Plants are plants.
I know. Yeah,
So,
you're right. You're right. You're right. I've heard some people say recently that like they unfortunately the way plant-based has been, because it's become more mainstream, it's more like things made in a plant.
exactly. So the plant is the bowl, you know, and everything is put in. So, and of course, through those plant-based, you get a lot of oils, a lot of things that are, you know, that a lot of people can have, you know, and you should actually, it's no good for you. But so I tell them, okay, you know, half your plate plant-based, half the other plate have plants.
Actual
you know,
plants.
actual plants. Make a nice chickpea salad. I don't know, put it there you want, all the plants you want in there, you know, but learn how to taste the vegetable as it is, natural.
Yes.
You know, and I'm the kind of person that don't use salad dressing in salads, because I don't want to downplay the taste of the greens, you know.
Right.
So
well, a lot of times people say that's the worst part of the salad is the dressing, because it's not the plant, right? Like you said,
it's not the plant, exactly.
It's something that's processed. And like you also said, you want to make sure you're getting the best quality, highest taste plants, because if you don't get those, you're not going to want to eat them anyway. You know, if that's the worst part of it for it.
Exactly. And I have told my, you know, I have taught myself to eat things. It wasn't easy. I mean, I'm a full, you know, mainstream meat eater.
Yeah.
You know, like I like my meat back in the day, fried in oil and all the oil you could get, extra oil. So I had to teach myself. So I remember when I started, you know, first I started cooking my veggies. And then I said, you know what, from now on, instead of putting it in the soup, when I used to make a lot of soup, instead of cooking it, I used to put the veggies and a side plate at the table. And I would take the spinach, taste it, eat it. So I educated myself to taste how spinach really tastes. A broccoli, a cauliflower, a thing. I said, okay, then my brain started, okay, now we're going back. Now I started recording the taste. And then I would put it on top of my soup so it wasn't like totally cooked. And I started eating like that, you know, so I had to educate myself. Everything across it's education.
Yes.
You know?
And let me ask you a question too about the former lifestyle. You're Latin American, right? So Latin America is known as a meat heavy culture. Is it more meat heavy than just your standard American diet? Like how do you?
Oh yes.
That? Okay.
Oh yes, especially in land country like in South America, even from Central America down. I mean, they have steaks for breakfast.
Oh my gosh.
Steaks, no lie. And that's especially countries like
the whole thing.
They have for breakfast. They get up and they put that meat down and they have 3, you know, eggs sunny side up and the potatoes, and that's their breakfast. Right. You know, and in the middle and during the day, they may have a soup, though they time it down. But at nighttime, back to the steaks. and everything is meat. Everything is meat. And again, it's not because it comes from our culture from back in the day. A lot of people eat things today because they were limited of eating it when they were young.
Right.
So the Latin culture, a lot of people grew up poor,
Right.
and there wasn't meat all the time on the plate. There was only maybe, back in those days, if you were poor, you ate chicken. If you had money, you ate steak, you know. And fish sometimes was expensive, sometimes was not, whatever. So a lot of Latinos today, they tend to eat a lot like that because they didn't have. And that's what I talk a lot too. I educate a lot of my Latinos friends. I go, we're not living in those days no more.
That's
you
right.
know, because a lot of us have become professionals. We got a little money, we live in better homes. Now we don't have to share a bed, our kids don't share beds no more, and they got their own rooms, they got their own things. We didn't grow up like that. Three of us slept in one bed. Wow. We had only soda maybe on a Saturday or Sunday, so it was rationed.
Yeah, now it's abundance, right? It's
now it's
that's what they
abundance,
say.
yes.
A lot of this is diseases of affluence.
Yes,
what's going on.
Yes. So I teach it. We don't live in those days no more. We don't have to eat like that no more. And a lot of that we fill our pantries, our fridge, because it makes us feel good. Because when we used to open our fridge when we were younger, there was nothing in there. There was only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
That's it.
That was it,
And if you ate it all in advance, then you had to go
and you were done
eating or something. Yeah.
And you weren't eating. So you were rationed. That's why, everything. If you didn't eat something today because you didn't like it, you were gonna eat it. Maybe not today, but you have it the next day. Or my mother again threw it all in the soup, in the broth, and you ate it as a soup. Nothing went to the garbage can.
That was the difference between like a want and a need. You ate because you needed to eat, and you would give whatever you were handed, right? But now it's a want. Like, I want this, I want that, and you just take it. You take it. Take it all too much.
Yeah, and I think a lot of mistakes a lot of parents do today. Now I raised 3 kids already. My oldest son and my oldest daughter is 35. My youngest 27. But I think we make the mistakes of asking each individual kid, "What do you want for dinner?"
Right.
I think we got to go back to the old school way. You make it. They say as a parent, you already basically know what kids like. I'm not going to make them something extreme that they don't like, but I'm not going to make something, not make something because they kind of don't like it. Right. But I think that the palates are totally different than ours, and we have to really
That's a good point.
We got to start. We got to start like, we got to start being the parent,
Yeah, I know. Like you and I are, similar because we have kids that we both raised separately. I didn't know you at the time, but I agree with what you're saying, because I felt like when I was raising my kids when I was younger, I didn't want them to have to, I don't know, experience this or that my parents made me do. They made me do, So what I ended up doing is made their life too easy, and that handicapped someone.
Oh yes. A story that I've learned. So I bought my house back in '97 in Newport Richie. So I came from New York. It was a corner lot. It was just a property, a new house. No palm, no trees, no nothing. So I'm here from New York. I said, I want palm trees. So I went out and bought, so it's a corner property. So I put 12 palm trees around the property, and they were about 6 foot tall, I was so excited, I got palm trees. I was in Florida, brand new house. Oh my God, I was in heaven. So I went to Home Depot, got me a bag of the feed for the palm trees, and I started putting them at the base. I watered them.
Feed them, make them grow, right?
Yeah, make them grow, right? So I'm like putting them right at the trunk. I used to sit there, just wow, look at me. I just came from New York. I was in heaven.
I got 12 palm trees. Yeah.
Oh yeah, now I got palm trees. I'm like, wow, life has changed. And then the guy who planted my trees, he comes up a week later to make sure they haven't, falling or they were straight still, because I put those pieces of wood. Right. And he calls me out. He goes, may I talk to you for a second? I go, sure. So I come out. He goes, he goes, Mr. Zambrano, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to feed the trees, so they can grow nice and healthy. I go, that's good. But the trees, if you put the food right at the bottom of the tree, you stunt them. He goes, because they don't have to reach out. He goes, take the food and put it maybe 3 feet away. Right. So the roots have to go out and grab it. And when they go out and grab it, they grow. Yes. So those trees now at this day, so we're talking 22, they're probably like 30 feet. you
And
know.
then, but that's what you did from that point on, is you challenged them, right?
I challenged them. And
Yeah,
said, yeah, that's why as a parent, with experience, I talk, challenge your kids. Don't make it too easy because we stunt them.
right. Yeah,
We
and the
stunt them.
same.
And
Yeah,
go
the
ahead.
same is true with with all kinds of plants. It's funny because I've been helping out at a farm recently, and it's
Nice.
funny because the farmer doesn't have kids, younger
Yeah.
farmer, and
Okay.
he's telling me all these techniques. Oh, well, yeah, you gotta when the plant gets this big, you have to prune it, because if you don't prune it, it's not gonna produce all the fruit. And I'm like, this is
Yeah.
just like raising kids.
Yes, it is. I know. I know. It's amazing. That's why every time I see trees, the same thing. It's like, wow, okay. And that's why they put the same thing. Like when they put a tree, they put a 3 piece of wood so you can go straight. And
Yeah,
then you go and you adjust it, maybe tilting a little more. Same thing with kids. Same
yeah.
thing.
So they need that. They need that hands-on, but they need the challenge. You need the structure. They need someone to allow them the conditions that will cause the growth to happen, right? The proper
Yes,
growth.
yes.
That's it. I
Yeah,
mean, that's work. Yeah,
well, yeah.
and that you have to be intentional about that too, because that's what I got wrong. I know. I'm
Yeah, me
learning all
too.
this now. You
Yeah,
know,
I know. After, right?
yeah, I know.
I know, me too.
I,
I know. Like
but
when we got into the house, I had 3 kids, so I bought a 4-bedroom. They each had their own room, and I gave them everything I didn't have. Oh my God! So growing up, we used to sit at one table, everybody eat at the same time, same thing, whatever. No, I put TVs in the room, radios. At that time was I don't
oh
know,
yeah,
some
wow.
the video games. I mean,
They had
oh yeah,
everything.
they had everything. So they used to get their food and go straight to the room and watch TV.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
And, and that's what started creating separation in the family because now
right. There was a
everybody ate
dinner.
in different
Yeah,
part of the house.
yeah.
But I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was like, oh my God, look at they get to eat in the rooms. I never got to eat in my room. Meanwhile, I was just, and I thought I grew up, poor, but I grew up rich in that sense because I grew up with manners. I grew up with things that are really important
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
the self discipline, the good habits. Yeah, these you have to instill. No one wants to. I mean, well, I guess there is probably a rare child that will just accept and do those things, but
Yeah,
usually they have to be instilled by
it
someone
has to
around
be
them,
from
right?
day one. Yeah, from day one. So from day one, I believe that. I think again, and we're going back like to diet, to introduce a fruit to them and everything. I
Yes.
mean, it's not only apples and oranges, there's other things, other kind of fruit that may excite there, there's dragon fruit, there's this, that you have to, buy what the kid may like. Like me, I don't like kale.
You don't like kale.
I tried, yeah, kale. I tried it every way possible,
Well, actually,
but I don't like
have you
it.
tried it? Because this farmer I was telling you about, where I help out, he has kale growing right in the garden. I'll go up and I'll pick it right off the growing healthy plant and eat it immediately. Have you ever had kale
Uh,
like that?
I gotta do it I gotta try it like that then.
Yeah, because I
I
never did
gotta
until
try.
recently. It's a different taste.
Yeah, it
When you
gotta be.
because
Yeah.
that plant is fully alive and with all the benefits, right?
All the electricity, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I tell
Yeah.
you, that's the way to live, to just be able to pick it and eat it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the way to
I think
live,
yeah, it
you
is.
know?
It's very hard to do that, but like I said, I just bring it up now because it is a different experience than going to your grocery store and buying a bag of kale, and who knows how long that it's been in the
How
bag.
long?
I have
Yeah,
no idea.
I know.
So,
It's like I went into the supermarket, I don't know, about a month ago, 2 months ago. So I'm looking for avocados, and then I saw, the avocados. I won't mention the supermarket. It
mhm.
had come all the way from Peru,
Mm.
the avocado, and it was hard.
Oh,
It wasn't even right. It was nothing. It was like it felt like a baseball, how
wow.
hard.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I said, that avocado has no nutrients. It wasn't long enough with mama, with the tree,
Mm.
for it to nourish itself as a true avocado. So that's why I tell people, listen, as much as you can, search out local areas and,
Yeah.
eat in season,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
even if you think you're getting you're eating good fats, that avocado really probably only have 50% of its 100 of its nutrients because it was picked so soon. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah,
there's so many dimensions to this. I mean, because once you get into it, but let me go back to the basics, because that's something I know I've complimented you on in the recent past, that you're doing a great job at just bringing people into the lifestyle in general that
yeah,
would not usually want to accept it.
yeah.
And I think, like, what do you have some kind of hints or tips that just anyone can use to kind of introduce someone to the lifestyle?
Yeah. I think a lot as you know, being as a plant-based, whatever we want to call it. I don't know what's the title now, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I think we got to be more open-minded. I believe a lot of us, we find the way, and we shut our eyes to what we used to be. I used to love meat, and if I was to say I walk by a barbecue and I smell this, because that's really what we smell is the spices,
Yes.
and I,
Plants.
and they'll say, Fab, that's the smell. What I go, of course it smells good. Those spices are great. I never say meat because it's not really the meat.
Yeah.
I go, of course the spices smell good. I go, I ain't gonna lie to you. I go, I won't eat it, but they smell good because I could put that. I go on a Beyond Burger if I wanted to. It doesn't matter to me. I won't eat it either. So, but I think we have to stay like more open-minded, listen to people more,
Listen.
because a lot of people that eat meat still in the lifestyle, they don't know much. There's not information. They think when they think of fruit, or again, the only thing is apple and oranges, but there's so much more. Like last week they invited me a birthday celebration, which was a kind of restaurant, I don't know, and they had a Beyond Burger, right? I said, okay. So I started asking questions, how you cook it. And I told her, I go, I don't want to, I'm plant-based, but I don't want to be, I don't want to sound, awful. Not I just want to make sure, because if I get some cross-contamination, I go, I may be in your bathroom the whole night. I go, and then we don't want that now. I told her, right? So I keep it smile, I keep it fun, And but it was so cute because she goes to me she goes, the Beyond Burger, would you like that rare, medium, or well done? I go, you know what that is? It's a plant-based. I go, I know, but I wasn't sure. So, but I sat there, I just ordered that, I ordered the bread, whatever, I had that. And so that was it, and but I liked it because now she knew what it was. So I sat there with friends. I didn't make believe I was, like, oh my God, I'm not going, look at it. And they were all eating, whatever they eat. But it was good. I mean, they still at that point where they're eating that, but they were watching me. And the girl learned something new. And now the establishment realized, hey, I think we better get some of this plant-based option going over here, because there's more vegans coming in. But people don't want to lose business.
That's right. You got to keep talking to the restaurants whenever you go in, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Yes.
And even if you call up, even if if you want to be an influencer, you can say, excuse me, do you have any plant-based options? Oh, not at the moment. Oh my God. Okay, great. I'll check back next month. Maybe you have, because I really like your restaurant. I would like to be friends there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we have to. So a lot of things, I think, as vegans or plant-based, we tend to visit the same locations all the time. So, which, you're around same people like yourself, but it's like preaching to the choir. Yeah. You have to stay. You have to go to where you're uncomfortable. Go to places where you visit frequent places you're not comfortable, because people are real interested.
Yeah.
I meet people, I meet people in places like, and they're like, wow, and again, then you could share your stories. You could share how, you could share your story, what plant-based has done for you. And people are looking for it. It's just people that say no. People don't know it, and the material has been kept so secret that for people to listen to something else and hear something new, it's like, wait a minute, what do you mean? You mean that I can reverse diabetes type 2? You mean I don't have to stay in meds till I die? Because so. Yeah.
Well, the restaurants are one thing, right? Because the restaurants, it's necessary. All these different facets of business and organizations hopefully will change to becoming mainly plant-based and stop animal products after a period of time. But how about going back to your relatives, your kids?
Yeah.
There's an emotional component there.
Yeah.
That's not there when you're talking to a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. So with the family thing, the only thing my suggestion, as I've learned in the last 10 years, the only thing we could do with families and kids and like that, just be a testament to the lifestyle. Be a healthy vegan. Be a healthy, be healthy.
Yes.
Because you create more change from the inside. And I mean, like, just be an example. 10, 20 years from now, my grandkids are gonna look and say, wow, Grandpa made that change at 50. Look at him now. Oh my God. So even if by that time they haven't like totally done it, they will say, you know what? I want to be like Grandpa. I want to be like that. So it doesn't pay now, but it'll pay in the long run. You have to just be an example. And a lot of families, especially family members, they won't let you know they're trying more of a whole food plant-based diet. Well, that's you will be the last one to know, but they'll be doing it. They'll be, you know what, it's working for Fab. Let me just try maybe a little bit more. You see what I mean? But I would probably never find out what family members are doing it, but it's okay. I know that I'm the example. When I started, they used to tell me, Fab, watch that diet. I heard that vegan diet is very dangerous. This was 2013. I don't hear anything now because they see the example.
Right.
I've kept my weight for the last 3 years. I don't go up and down. I eat the same thing. I actually eating better than I did 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Even though I was vegan, eating more, like I said, more
Learn
plants.
more. Yeah, you learn more, eat more of the actual plants, do better. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, you do better. It's like, so I think the best that we could do, be a testament, be a testament of what you're preaching.
I have a question about the kids. It sounds like, tell me if I'm wrong here, that all of your kids, all of your children now have switched to plant-based?
Two. I have three.
Not all.
Two, and not all of them. One is still fighting it.
Okay, because that's what I want to ask you about, because mine have not. Some of them have, and then they go back to it, and some never consider. But the question is, like, what do you say? Because I'll give you an example. I've said it at times, just like we've talked about here in this discussion. Not only was it, I didn't talk about being plant-based or eating plants when they were growing up. I probably fed them all the wrong foods, right? But I didn't work the discipline right. I let them have all these bad habits. I spoiled them.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I've caught myself saying this, and is this right or wrong? I don't know. Saying, like, I've said this to my kids. Look, I know I messed up. I taught you the wrong thing. You have to listen to me now.
I know. It's like, it's true. Like I tell my kids, I used to take them all to, and all, even the ones that are vegan now, they were chubby. And I remember going to baseball games, first of all, buy him the sugary drinks for the game, and then after we used to go to the drive-through, maybe Wendy's or I don't know, whatever.
A whole ritual.
Yeah, it was a ritual, yes. So and my younger kids, which maybe especially my younger son, he was maybe 8, he was eating the same thing I was. I used to buy like 2 for 3s, a check especially. He used to eat the same thing. With a shake, of course, with a side of this, and now I think about it, I go, oh my God. I'm sorry.
I know. Yeah, and I've said this. I don't know if that's inappropriate for a parent to say to their own kids. But I mean, in a way, I'm admitting guilt. I'm fine. I screwed up, but I'm really also, I have another agenda, right? It's to say, look, don't make the same mistake I did. With your kids.
Yeah.
But then they don't want to hear. A lot of times, it's almost like they don't want to hear me, because what I'm suggesting is to do something more strict than I did. Like, hey, I was too easy on you. Believe it or not. I know you thought I was too hard, but guess what? I was too easy.
I was very easy, yeah. Yes, it's like, I know, it's like, that's why I like the famous quote by Maya Angelou. She, that's why we got to forgive ourselves first. And I said, I did then what I knew how to do.
Yes.
But now that I know better, I do better. And I think, it may not work now or whatever, but one day you'll hit, Yeah. But we just got to keep talking. We got to keep being the example. I told my kids, I go, I don't believe I did this. I don't believe. Oh my God. And I think about it, I remember just, okay, movie night, used to go get the VHS or DVD. Back then was VHS. And I'll buy like dip, tons of chips. And we sit there 9 o'clock at night just eating. Nice, fat little family, It's like, but I didn't know better. I didn't know that I was, besides the weight and all that I was hurting them,
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. In case people don't know, just the correlation obviously is between eating the wrong foods and creating disease. I think that some of the surveys out there say about 75% of all illnesses are due to poor lifestyle choices.
Yeah.
Right? That's a huge percentage.
Yeah. I don't, I would say 99.99999 is everything, we put here. I mean, just not to say 100, so, I don't get no bad feedback. Right. 99.9, it's like I was just speaking at an office, a couple of people, they asked me to speak. And I would tell you, your day starts with what you put in your mouth the first thing in the morning. If you're going to go to a drive-thru, you get some fast food with all those oils and things that are not even food, that your body don't recognize it, your whole day is shot.
Yeah,
if you get up in the morning,
products. That's what I said, right?
Yeah. And it's funny. The other day I was going to a meeting in Tampa, and I'm going through Tampa, and I see the line for the drive-through going around the parking lot for McDonald's. And they're like, oh my God. And it reminded me, because when I used to, eat that before I started my journey, I used to make sure, okay, I gotta be at my appointment's at 9. Okay, if I leave by 8, I'll make it to McDonald's by 8:30. I got 5 minutes to eat it, and I'll make it to the meeting.
Yep.
So anybody who's in a line, in one of those, lines.
You know how they feel. You know what they're doing.
Yeah, I know how they feel,
Yeah.
but they also have, if they're making time to stand in there waiting for 30 minutes, they also have time in the morning to cook something then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the way we look at it. It's easier to get dressed and wait in a car for 30 minutes and get my bag, pull to the side, and go to work. But those are the things I try to educate people that if you got time if you got time in the morning to make line at McDonald's, you got time to make yourself an oatmeal or something like that.
Yeah, or even if you don't like to cook, because I'm not a big chef or anything. I mean, I have time to stop by a grocery store and check out the organic produce aisle. It's gonna be something that's gonna make my mouth water. And I'll just grab that and I'll
just grab it. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I do with grapes. My thing is grapes. Every time I go through, I'm driving to meet clients or whatever, I got a nice big bag of grapes in my water.
I love them. I love grapes.
Oh my God, I love the grapes. That's my new thing now, because you change little by little. Yes. So again, I'm trying to tell people, listen, you got more options. It's not the same. This is not 1980. This is 2022.
That's right. And talking about the grapes too, I tend to like the darker colors, actually the reds or the blacks.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to find them recently, but I did find some light green ones, and they looked very high quality. And I said, well, these were organic. I tried to go organic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I couldn't find any red or black ones that are organic. I'm like, okay, I'll try these and taste them. And I tasted them. They were so good. There's a big variance in quality. You really have to get an eye for picking out the right ones, because if someone hands you some produce and it's very low quality, you're not going to want to eat it again.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to judge that. You're going to judge the whole thing. Oh, I tasted his celery. It was no good. You tasted maybe a celery that been out for, so it's like, it's something else. But again, we live again in 2022 where we have the responsibility to make changes, not nobody else. I mean, you could Google everything. There's so much information out there that if you want to get healthy, you have to do your own research. I know I did. I started. Go ahead.
I want to commend you again, because I feel like, you've reached a point in your life. I'm sure that, please, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but you, like everyone, were struggling to make ends meet to a certain point in your life. Yeah. I think you've gotten beyond that, hopefully. And now you're using your newfound time in a positive way. I mean, because you didn't have to choose to do that. Okay.
Exactly.
First of all, you didn't have to, but you are doing that. And I wanted to commend you for that, because you're doing a great job of it as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm blessed. I feel blessed that I'm able to do that. I'm able to do that. And, like again, my son's running my business and everything. And I'm very low maintenance, I am. I like my hats. Yes, I like my hats.
Yeah,
a lot
fedoras,
of them.
yeah, always.
Yeah, my fedoras I love. But I'm very low maintenance. I believe that I was saved from the grave to bring life to others. Because if I didn't do that back then, 2020, I wouldn't have been around no more. It would have taken me away, because I would have easily been close to 400 pounds. I mean, it was just not getting better. My diabetes would have been through the roof, and I would have just been a sitting duck. And just to be around now, especially like I say, and be with my grandkids and be able to enjoy, it's, I feel grateful. I'm very, very grateful, And I want to share that to people that, hey, you're reaching that point in your life where you don't know what to do. There's more to life.
Yeah, because there's so much work. I'm sure you look around, because the positive changes that have happened because of you making different choices. And now you want to tell everyone. So there's so much work to do. You look around, there's so much work. It's not like you've got nothing to do now.
No, it's so much. I know. It's like, oh my God, okay. And even it's nice because I go to a lot of events, and they don't know me. Oh, you're fat to vegan. You're fat to vegan. Yeah. Oh my God, I read your story. I had I belong to the Tampa Club, which is a members only club.
Yes, up in the high rise, right up there.
Yeah, right? Up in the high rise. Yes. So one of the servers there actually was having his mother-in-law that lives with him, young guy, maybe 37, 38, nice guy. he was having issues. His mother was having issues getting sick all the time. So every time she ate, she would have gut problem. She'd be rushed to the hospital. This has been going on for years. And they didn't know what to do because they couldn't leave her alone because she was always sick, you know. So he went like this, hey, I got this member at the club. He's vegan, you know, and yeah. And, oh, as a matter of fact, he showed her the last video we did together.
Oh,
The
really?
last interview we had, he showed her that interview.
Oh,
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, he showed that.
Because that was a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he showed that interview and they listened to it. Him and his wife.
Excellent.
And they saw my change and everything. And his wife goes, you know what? That's it. We're going vegan. And they started feeding her mother, you know, plant-based stuff, you know, more plants. And that was 3 months ago. She hasn't had no more gut issues. She hasn't been to the hospital. Wonderful. He lost weight. And his wife feels so much better. He says, we're not going back to meat. I go, this is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah. And he goes, I want to congratulate you. I mean, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for this. I go, you just gave me the biggest reward. I told him. Yeah. And they actually listened to our last interview. That's what
that's excellent. So yeah, we're reaching people too, but your story here. So I mean, you're getting your story out and it's working. And I'm so happy to hear this. And I also want to kind of pull everything together here because I feel like a lot of the concepts that we've touched on here, almost at least in our generation, I think we hope that the next generation is not like this, but in our generation, I felt like so many people just worked as hard as they could because of course they need to make ends meet. They want the best for their family, they want the best for their kids. But in the process of doing that, they damage their health because like you said, like they take all the convenience, because they got to have, they don't have much time, they don't have enough money, all the cheap convenience items. But the problem is what happens is, and you've changed it, thankfully, is that you end up sacrificing your health, right, for that period of time. And then by the time you get to the point where you are okay and stable financially, then you can't enjoy it. And we don't want that. We want both sides need to be better, I think. And you're definitely making a positive difference there.
Yeah, thank you. And that's what I see, you know, like through my story, you know, I became a father, a husband, blah, blah, blah. And so what happened? And then I said, okay, I got to be a father. I got to be a husband. I got to do this. I was building my business. So I took my health to everything that didn't matter anymore and put in the back burner. So I'll get back to that when I can.
I did it too. I think
we all did it.
Everyone did. In a generation, I think maybe you're on the one end and I'm on the other, but similar generation, that's what happened. You know, no one was telling me any different during that time.
No. That's what they told us we're supposed to do. You know, that's why we listened. You know, that's why I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And we just wanted to do the right thing.
Yes.
You know, we just wanted to do the right thing. That's all it was. You know, we loved the kids. We loved, you know, where we were. Just wanted to do the right thing. But we didn't know no more. We didn't know no better, you know? And that's why it's so important, like people like yourself, and you're doing an amazing job, by the way. And, you know, we're out there providing this information. And people, even if we help them through the gate, hey, listen, you know, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4.
That's right.
And that's what we're doing. That's our job. That's our calling.
Yeah, I think we both know that this is the truth, right? We need to tell this to people. It's not like, hey, I don't know, we got some personal agenda here, and then you know, it's the truth. It applies to all humans, and we just don't want. We want people to live the best life possible. I think we both agree on that, and this is the way to do it.
Yeah, enjoy a better quality of life. You know, enjoy. You know, like I said, just a better quality of life. Enjoy life. You know.
Yes.
We just, you know, don't just sit around waiting for your number to be called. You know. Just go out, do something, you know, be alive because it's beautiful. The sun, the weather, rain, the heat, everything. Just enjoy, you know.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you know.
Yeah. Well, I am looking forward to the next event season here. For us, it starts in late October here up in DC, and then we go down quickly to Florida, and then we'll be seeing you there.
Oh, your first one is in DC?
First one is late October. Then super early November, we are in Raleigh. And then we go right down the.
Well, you know I'm down for DC, right?
Oh, if you are.
Yeah, hey, put me down. Put me down.
Okay, I will. Right. Yeah, it's a great place. I mean, there's so many places to see around here. All the monuments and everything, the museums. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, put me down.
Okay. Well, there's more opportunities right there. See
exactly. Hey, I'll travel.
Yeah, and actually, when you're up here, you can meet Dave, the farmer. He has a farm up here called Planetary Farms, an organic farm,
Yeah,
and he's been teaching me, and I've been learning about how to grow all
that's
these plants and how to do it correctly, in an
yeah,
organic way without chemicals.
that'd be
So
great.
there's so
Oh
much
my
to learn,
God.
like you said. So
I
I
know.
I don't know all the stuff he's teaching me all.
That is crazy. But that's nice. Learning how to plant and mom was good at that. My mom knew every name of every leaf or every bush of every tree. The old school, they knew everything,
Yeah,
and
it's
she
quite
knew like
funny.
all
Yeah,
that.
you go back just another generation, and then they had it, but
Yeah,
somehow in between there, I don't know what happened.
we just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. We made a right where we should have made a left. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, you
Yeah,
said
so,
it. I've heard it in your talk, right? I think you said this. You just have to be off just a little bit, and then you end up
yeah,
so far off course, it's unbelievable.
exactly. Like I said, you change that one point one on the airplane,
Yes.
you're leaving United, you're leaving here, you're headed to Canada. No, you're going to London somewhere. That's all it takes. And it's little changes, but on the same formula, we could get back on course.
Yes.
We could get back on course. And again, it starts with a diet, with a new generation, with their kids. And I know everybody wants healthy kids, everything like that.
Yes.
And like new parents, that plan to have kids or they have babies, do your research. Don't take don't take my opinion or yours only, but research.
Yeah. The
You got
information's
so
out
much.
there. Yeah. Use
Yeah,
that internet for
yeah,
positive things. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And, like me, I'm constantly, on YouTube, listening to a lot of doctors,
Yeah.
and watching both ends of the things, and learning, and I'm learning more and more, because the more I learn, the more I can teach people,
That's
and
right.
it educates me as well. So just do your research. That's my bad. But do your research. Don't listen to one man's opinion, even if it's vegan, whatever. Just listen. Yeah.
Even
And
if his name is Fab or Mike.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We don't know it all. We just try to make it
I'm just
ourselves.
the messenger. That's it.
Even if they was, yeah, but yeah. Because we all want the best for our kids. I mean, that's normal. Yeah, that's
That's
normal.
right. That's what we've all done that. I think, and I think we've all, like you and I have met here at this
Yeah,
point in time where I think we realized there was a generation or so of kids that, and we took part of it, right? That we
yeah,
didn't
we
do
did.
exactly what we should have done. So we
Exactly.
still can help out future
Yes,
generations,
yes.
and that's so
And
much.
yeah, again, yes. And admit it, like you said, you apologize to your kids.
Yeah.
And and that's a major part. Listen, I messed up. I thought I was doing right, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
I should have fed you those 20 burgers at one time,
Yeah. And you're like, wait a minute, I love that.
I love that. I love. I go, well, I was wrong, okay?
That was the one thing I really love.
Oh, forget it. So, yeah, we talk about it with my boys. I said, yeah, remember we did? I said, yeah, right. What was I thinking? I go, say thinking, but that's all I knew. I didn't know no better.
Yeah. Well, like you said,
So,
now we do, and so we're doing better. So
exactly. Now that we
please,
know better, we do better.
yeah, keep up the great work. Keep up posting on social media. I know I follow you all over on your different platforms. I see all your content constantly going out there,
Thank
and
you.
others do as well. And
Thank you.
it's needed. I mean, it's needed for now. In the future,
Yeah,
I think we both hope we get to a time when we don't need to do that anymore.
I know.
But that's going to be quite a while in the distance at this point.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it's nice just to know that we're part of the revolution.
Yeah, that's right.
We're creating change. And that's why I always say, when my grandkids are older, and all this everything's plant-based, and everything, my grandkids can say, yeah, grandpa was part of the revolution.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I don't know if we'll talk again this summer, but this
Okay.
has been an amazing update, like of a year. And I
Yes.
figured out with a lot of different folks, like what happened in the last year,
Yeah.
and we're already planning for the event season here this winter.
I
And of
see
course,
it.
there's
I
no
see
real
it.
winter in Florida, so if
Yeah, I
anybody's
know.
out there, if you want to get out of the cold in the wintertime, come on down and celebrate with us at the Veg
Yeah.
Fest that we have in Florida. So, yeah.
Have fun. Have fun.
That's right.
Yes, for sure.
All right.
Enjoy
Well,
them.
take care of yourself and keep
You too, buddy.
keep
Thank
influencing
you.
others in a positive way.
Yeah, definitely. You too.
And
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for your work.
Thank you. Awesome.